The Restless and the Young. Recap of Tuesday, January 7th, Sharon's vehicle found at the river's bottom. The Restless and the Young. According to the Tuesday, January 7th teasers for YNR, the show began with Jason Thompson's character Billy Abbott and Michelle Stafford's character Phyllis Summers meeting at Society. Billy questioned Phyllis's manner since she appeared composed and cool. Following the advice of others around her, Phyllis informs Billy that she is letting go of the Sharon Newman, Sharon case, predicament. Despite her desire to exact revenge on Sharon, she was powerless over the circumstance and decided to put her attention elsewhere. Billy questions this new mindset, but Phyllis continues to claim that she's all in, and the conversation shifts to their strategy to overthrow Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and restore Chancellor. However, before they formally become partners, she has one requirement. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, is spotted at Sharon's cottage on Tuesday's YNR across town. They discuss how little sleep they had the night before when Faith Newman, Raylan Castor, arrives downstairs. Faith worries about the worst-case situation and the fact that Sharon is still gone, but Nick pretends to be brave and assures his daughter how strong her mother is. The police are investigating, as Nick noted, and he has visited the hospitals, but none have reported that Sharon has been admitted. Though Nick persisted in trying to present things in a favorable light, Faith is unable to get rid of the possibility that Ian Ward, Ray Wise, is the reason her mother went missing. Victor and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, discuss Ian's reappearance at the main house of the Newman Ranch. The fact that Ian is free and back on the loose infuriates Nikki. She revealed all of his previous transgressions against their family, but Victor promised to keep her and their loved ones safe. Victor also informed his wife that Ian's every action is being monitored by his security staff. The Restless and the Young. Tuesday, January 7th summary. While walking in the park with Aria Copeland Porter, Maddie and Millie Engel, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, and Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, encounter Ian. In fact, he approaches to get a better look as soon as he sees the couple's adorable toddler, but Mariah stops him. In addition to pointing out that the women are safe, Ian informs Mariah that he has changed, something she doesn't believe. This is due to the fact that the man directly behind him is one of Victor's security personnel, for which Ian is thankful as it will demonstrate his lack of malicious intent. Ian continues by apologizing for all of the horrible things he had done to Mariah in the past and offering to make amends, but Mariah refused. The topic of Tessa's health scare on NYE came up. She responded no when Ian asked whether she had learned the cause, but she was appreciative of the puffer he gave her and thanked him uncomfortably. He pointed out that Mariah was only activated by God's intention to be present at that precise moment. Then, in a spooky way, Ian said that it appeared that he and Mariah will always be together. Ian went on to say that while some members of his church might not agree with Mariah and Tessa's family dynamic, he does. Mariah became agitated and told Tessa to take Aria to the opposite side of the park. She also threatened Ian with consequences if he didn't keep away from her and her family. Back at Society, Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, interrupts Phyllis as she is about to give Billy her one requirement for their partnership. Chancellor, Connor Floyd, just informed her that Sharon is AWOL, therefore she has some news for her mother. Summer and Billy both appear to be very worried, but Phyllis brushes it aside. Billy wonders if Phyllis is aware of what happened to Sharon because Phyllis thinks she might be doing this to get attention. She was ranting about the retaliation she wanted against her blonde enemy 5 minutes ago, he reminded her, and Phyllis told him that she only brought it up to let him know she was over it. Additionally, she reminded Billy of the other things, i.e., Victor, they had discussed throughout their conversation. She politely requested an apology, which he provided. Nevertheless, Summer's expression suggested that she suspected her mother of being the reason behind Sharon's disappearance. Billy then made his way to Sally Spectra's, Courtney Hope, side of Society. His new girlfriend surprised him by asking him to accompany her on a work trip to Paris that would also include some leisure time. Billy concurred, but he questioned whether there was a hidden agenda. Billy questioned Sally about whether this was an attempt to persuade him to abandon his plan against Victor. She stated that while she doesn't expect him to completely abandon the plan, she does hope that he will forget about it. She did, however, mention that she feared someone may be harmed, but Billy dismissed it. Phyllis observed Billy and Sally pointing out Sally's lack of sophistication and bringing up her horrible past actions. Summer tells her mother that she has put her competition with Sally behind her and that she ought to follow suit. Although Summer acknowledges that Sally is gifted and has produced incredible work at Marchetti, it is evident that Phyllis is far from over it with Sally. When Nick returns to the Newman Ranch to see his parents, the three of them talk about the potential connection between Ian's involvement and Sharon's disappearance. Nick receives a call from Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, during this sequence. Chance informs Nick that Sharon's vehicle was discovered at the river's bottom, close to where Heather Stevens' Vale Bloom body was discovered following her passing. After speaking with Sally, Billy returns to Phyllis at her table and is eager to find out what Phyllis has in mind for their collaboration. She says she is all in, provided Billy guarantees Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei, a position at Chancellor as a key player in the business. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Billy will probably accept Phyllis's one request as they move forward with their business plan, but will they both be taken aback when they experience some renewed passion along the way? Sharon's car found at the bottom of the river. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers recap for Tuesday, January 7th, opens with intense drama and intrigue surrounding the disappearance of Sharon Newman, Sharon case. The revelation of Sharon's car being discovered at the bottom of the river sends shockwaves through Genoa City, setting off a series of emotional and suspenseful events that intertwine the lives of several characters. Phyllis's new resolve. The episode begins with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, meeting Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, at Society. Phyllis, uncharacteristically calm, surprises Billy with her composed demeanor. She explains that she's decided to let go of her vendetta against Sharon Newman, choosing instead to channel her energy elsewhere. Billy, skeptical of this sudden change, probes her further. Phyllis assures Billy that her focus is now on their plan to bring down Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and reclaim Chancellor. However, she imposes one condition before fully committing to their alliance: Billy must secure a prominent role for Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei, at Chancellor. Faith's fear and Nick's optimism. At Sharon's cottage, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, comforts his daughter, Faith Newman, Raylan Castor, who is distraught over Sharon's disappearance. Despite Faith's fears and suspicions about Ian Ward's, Ray Wise, involvement, Nick remains optimistic. He reassures Faith that Sharon is strong and reminds her that the police are diligently working on the case. Yet, beneath Nick's confident facade lies a deep concern for Sharon's safety. Ian Ward resurfaces. Meanwhile, at the Newman Ranch, Victor and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, discuss the troubling return of Ian Ward. Nikki's anger over Ian's release from prison is palpable, and she expresses her fears about his potential involvement in Sharon's disappearance. Victor, ever the protector, vows to keep their family safe and reveals that his security team is closely monitoring Ian's movements. In the park, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, and Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, encounter Ian while out with their daughter, Aria Copeland Porter, Maddie and Millie Ingle. Ian's attempt to engage with them is met with hostility from Mariah, who threatens him to stay away from her family. Ian's unsettling comments about Destiny and Faith further escalate the tension, leaving Mariah on edge. Phyllis and Summer's tensions. Back at Society, Phyllis and Billy's conversation is interrupted by Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, who shares the alarming news of Sharon's disappearance. While Summer and Billy express genuine concern, Phyllis dismisses the situation, suggesting that Sharon might be seeking attention. Billy's doubts about Phyllis's innocence resurface, especially given her recent obsession with Sharon. However, Phyllis insists she's moved past her grudge. Phyllis's animosity toward Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, also takes center stage. Despite Summer's attempts to mediate, Phyllis remains critical of Sally, unwilling to let go of their past conflicts. Summer's plea for peace highlights her own growth, but Phyllis's bitterness lingers. A grim discovery. The tension reaches a climax when Nick visits the Newman Ranch to discuss Sharon's disappearance with Victor and Nikki. Their conversation is interrupted by a call from Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, who delivers devastating news: Sharon's car has been found submerged in the river. The location is eerily close to where Heather Stevens's body was discovered, adding a chilling layer to the mystery. Unexpected alliances and rekindled sparks. As Billy and Phyllis finalize their partnership, Billy agrees to her condition of including Daniel in their plan for Chancellor. However, their collaboration stirs unresolved feelings between them, hinting at the possibility of rekindled romance. Meanwhile, Sally surprises Billy with an invitation to Paris, blending business and pleasure. Her underlying hope to dissuade Billy from his vendetta against Victor adds complexity to their relationship. The mystery deepens. The discovery of Sharon's car raises more questions than answers. Was Ian Ward involved, or is someone else pulling the strings? As the Newman family and their allies grapple with the unfolding events, tensions run high, and alliances are tested. The Young and the Restless promises more twists and turns as the mystery surrounding Sharon's disappearance continues to unravel. The small town of Willowbrook awoke to shocking news one chilly autumn morning: Sharon Mitchell's car had been found at the bottom of the river. The discovery set the stage for a whirlwind of emotions, speculation, and unraveling secrets that would grip the community for weeks to come. Sharon had been missing for 3 weeks, and the town had been on edge ever since. A beloved member of the community, Sharon was known for her generosity, kindness, and a seemingly idyllic life. Her sudden disappearance had left a gaping hole in the lives of those who knew her. But the discovery of her car in the river raised more questions than it answered. The morning the car was discovered, a fisherman named Greg Larson was out casting his line as he did every day. It was a peaceful spot, surrounded by dense woods, with the river's surface reflecting the golden hues of fall. Greg's fishing net snagged on something unusual, and after a closer look, he realized it wasn't just a large rock or submerged tree. The glint of metal under the water caught his eye. With trembling hands, Greg called the authorities. Within hours, the scene was swarming with police, rescue teams, and curious onlookers. The water was cold and murky, making the retrieval a slow and painstaking process. As the sun climbed higher, the outline of Sharon's car became visible. The license plate confirmed what everyone feared: it was hers. When the vehicle was finally pulled from the water, the air was heavy with anticipation and dread. Sheriff Tom Riley addressed the crowd that had gathered. "We have confirmed that this vehicle belongs to Sharon Mitchell. The investigation is ongoing, and we'll provide updates as soon as we can. For now, we ask everyone to respect the family's privacy and refrain from speculation." Despite the sheriff's plea, speculation ran wild. Rumors spread like wildfire, each more sensational than the last. Some believed it was a tragic accident, others whispered about foul play. Sharon's disappearance had already spawned countless theories, and now, with the car found in such an unexpected location, the theories became even more outlandish. Sharon's closest friends and family were devastated but clung to hope. Her sister, Emily, had been leading the search efforts since day one. "We just want answers," she told reporters, her voice breaking. Sharon wouldn't just vanish. "She's out there somewhere, and we won't stop until we find her." The investigation into Sharon's disappearance and the discovery of her car became the sole focus of the Willowbrook Police Department. Forensic teams scoured the car for clues. The vehicle's interior was waterlogged, and much of the evidence was compromised. However, a few key pieces of information emerged. There were no signs of a struggle inside the car, and the driver's seat was adjusted to Sharon's height. The keys were still in the ignition, and her purse was found on the passenger seat, untouched. As the days passed, the search expanded. Divers combed the river for any additional evidence, while officers interviewed anyone who might have seen Sharon on the day she disappeared. A timeline began to take shape. Sharon had last been seen leaving her office late in the evening.